June is Pride Month throughout the country, and it's a good time to look towards supporting businesses owned by the LGBTQ+ community. Joining us now with some LGBTQ+ businesses you can support is Senior Director of Content Operations at BestReviews, Jacob Palmer. Jacob, thanks so much for joining us here at Live in the Bay.
And thanks so much for having me. You know, this month is such a fun celebration, and a lot of the times you want to support in different ways, and it's not always just buying, you know, different clothes or something that's branded a certain way. It's really supporting the businesses. We brought 3 here that we absolutely love. They all have some pretty cool stories too.
Amazing. Well, Bay Area is just buzzing with pride, and so I'm so excited that you brought these here to just share some businesses that everyone can support through the month of June and beyond. So what's this first one here?
So this first one is, I don't know if you can guess it, but it is a dog bed from Fable Pet Products.
It looks cozy, like I could just lay right on it.
During the tease, I almost considered doing it and just catching a quick nap, because they make their all of their dog products out of really thought through materials. It's founded by Sophie and Jeremy, who are siblings and New York City dog park absolute regulars. I don't think you could miss them if you go there. And they come up with different products in ways where they want to minimize the small parts that can break off and can make it frustrating. So you can see by this, it's really well put together, and it's put together in a way that also makes sure that they don't use any hazardous materials. So it's put together really thoughtfully, and they've got all different kinds of products that they make for your pet. And
it's so soft. I mean, just sitting here, like I said, I feel like I could definitely just take a nap on this right now. So you can tell that it's quality material, absolutely.
And they're super careful about it, and it's one of these things where they love their pets, and so they want to make sure that their pets have the absolute best, and it comes through because they build things up from scratch. They're not just looking at other companies and doing a copy and paste. They're building it thoughtfully and from the ground up.
Yes, well, I can tell that this one was thoughtfully created, and your pets are definitely going to love this. So moving on, what do we have next?
So next is a fragrance that we brought with us, and it's from Mudo, which comes to us from, her name's Brianna Arps, and she's a former editor in New York City, and she came up with this because she had been testing fragrances all the time for her old job, and she thought eventually, why don't I just do it myself? And that's where this comes from. You talk about using materials that are really thoughtfully put through. This is the epitome of that, where there's no dyes in it. There's nothing, no parabens, all of those things that I think the people that are very deep into beauty and self-care products care about. They are putting together these fragrances with those people in mind. And it's awesome in that way. And what we also love about it is that it smells good, obviously, but they are using it in a way where they want to make sure it's a part of this whole self-care idea. It's not just a matter of smelling good and putting your best foot forward. It's thinking about it as self-care, because when you smell good, when you look good, you're gonna have a good day, is what they believe. And I think that that really comes through in the products they make.
Yeah, that's so important, because I think right now with perfumes, a lot of people are talking about all the toxic materials that are in perfumes and fragrances, to the point where people have stopped wearing cologne, perfume altogether. So I love that there's a company that is being thoughtful about it and not putting any of those harsh ingredients and something that's going to be like good for you, part of your self-care routine. So important with that. I love that, Jacob. All right, so moving on, what do we have next?
So finally, we have an apparel company. It comes from Ariel, and she grew up, well, number one, the brand is called Small Town. So Ariel grew up in Kansas, and wouldn't you guess it, probably a small town. So yeah, she grew up in a farm, and then when she moved to the big city, she was wondering, what's the first question that everybody always asks? Well, it's, where are you from? And so as a way to kind of unite all those small towners, she came up with this awesome clothing brand. And you can tell by what I have in front of me, it's really cool. It's very simple. It looks nice. But then also, I mean, I wish the viewers could be here to see how soft this is too. It's, again, made out of really awesome materials. And she built the company with her friend, whose name is Forrest Jean. And it's also, like all the things we've been talking about today, sustainable practices are at the absolute core of the business, and you can tell by how they put it together that it really shines through. It's quality stitching, quality materials. This is not fast fashion, but it looks really cool, and it looks like the kind of thing that maybe you're a small towner living in any of the big cities in this country, and you want to kind of speed through it. This is a great way to get to that conversation point.
I'll be the tester for everyone. This is so soft. It really feels so good, and I like the messaging there. A lot of people that are in the big city now definitely came from a small town, so that's that's kind of paying a little bit of homage to their roots. They can always rep that in the big city.
We all have our own stories, and sometimes they overlap, sometimes they're shared, and I think this is a very common one for folks that want to be able to kind of unite around the little things, even a little town.
Absolutely. Well, Jacob, these are some incredible brands that you brought for us today to enjoy for Pride Month and beyond, and I really appreciate you sharing all these with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. If you want to learn more about these products and others, you can head over to bestreviews.com, or you can scan the QR code that you see right there on your screen.